Underdog Daily with Badge Bros, Jon and Nez here, hanging out on the new, improved, beautiful platform of the people here, Underdog Fantasy. Big web update. Very nice, very nice. We talked about it behind the paywall the other day for members only stream, but didn't get to it yesterday because we were on with the Coach Speak Index there. Hopefully, you guys had an opportunity to check that out. That was a good time with Greg. Yeah, a lot of fun. Fun dude, very informative dude, and the link is somewhere down here below in the featured on playlist. If you guys happen to miss that, because I would say, Nez, it's probably worth your time to go back and watch. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a really. I don't know how your third draft ended up, but I liked the first team. Second team could have been better, but yeah, he's such a great chat and hilarious guy too.
Yeah,
just the man. So I was very happy to have gotten the invite from him.
Yeah. I mean, we were sandwiched amongst some pretty cool guests, like the big dogs coming on there soon. Pete had been on, Sam Sherman had been on, Josh Norris had been on. So to be sandwiched amongst all the big names in our community and industry was quite the privilege. So that was fun, man.
Yeah, shout out to Greg.
Yeah, last draft turned out quite well. I actually low-key almost duped myself in a cardio club last night to have something similar to it. We had the 101 with Jamar Chase. I won't spoil the whole thing because you guys can go back and watch, but we had the 101 with Jamar Chase, then had a little bit of a robust start to go alongside it. Bucky Irving falling because of the Tristan Wirfs stuff, and put him alongside Josh Jacobs there, and then still found ourselves to a decent wide receiver room after. It was good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much Bucky's going to fall with this Wirfs news. People seem to be reacting accordingly. It's just a matter of how far he's going to fall.
Yeah, I mean, Hayden was alluding to it on Twitter there yesterday that we probably underreact to this kind of news, and a situation that comes to mind that's somewhat similar, but the entirety of the O line wasn't as good as the Bucks one would be like Miami last year, where like Armstead missed a whole bunch of games, and we looked at the splits when we were doing the daily draft stuff last year with that, and it was shocking how much like some of these all pro type offensive linemen impact the run game in particular.
Yep, makes total sense.
Yeah. The ball knowers versus the stat sheet bros, that's the evergreen debate right there. Ned, some cool stuff took place on the platform overnight. The last night and a bit there, we have a When Puppy Now Puppy 2. So happy to see that the return of the price point, the return of a big contest like that. We also got the double dribble up there too, $15 price point for that. Tried to hop in a couple last night and did not have success filling them. It was really late on my time. So yeah, and then yes, my puck guys are rolling through. When puck GM NHL next week. I'm hoping it's trending that way. Keep your guys' eyes on the rankings tab, and when the NHL stuff pops up, it will be coming up shortly. But yeah, 'tis the season with that stuff. Yeah, that's the clean new look of the platform. Just thoughts and feelings now that I bring that one up for everybody.
Yeah, I think everything looks good. My only feedback is I just think the text is a little too small. Like I'm getting old, and it's at the point where I'm rocking 110% zoom on desktop. So that would be the only thing I would say is let's. And I know it's a young person's world out here, but just a little bit bigger on the text, and I'm happy. Otherwise, I think everything looks great. Otherwise, I have no complaints other than just I have to zoom in. on that's it.
No, that's legit, dude. I echo the sentiments, dude. I think this was a really good update. I'm glad they left kind of the tile stuff, put the gray shading behind it again, that sort of thing. I think it's really cool that you can do the drag and drop scroll across like this, so it kind of feels like you're on app and you don't have to grab the bar at the bottom or press the arrows at the top, so you can just kind of click amongst in that regard. My only piece of feedback associated with that was I'd like to see the same thing in draft functionality, where I just grab and see how I'm trying to grab here, but it doesn't work to move the bar. But now I can move the bar kind of deal by doing that. So that's my only piece of feedback was I wanted to see that same technology applied to in draft because I thought that was a good update.
Yeah, I guess I'm spoiled. I never noticed that. I use like I'm on like Mac, so I have like a Magic Mouse. And
Oh
so like
yeah,
when I go like sideways, like it'll like scroll sideways for me, which is nice. So like it just like to me it was just kind of business as usual. But yeah, I can understand from a normal mouse user standpoint.
that was
What yeah,
from
where
a
that would be.
PC plug like myself. Nez, I just wanted to bring this one up before we do winners and break down slates and all that sort of stuff. Is we got a bunch of upcoming content here for you guys. We held off on doing the double dribble today. We are going to do the double dribble on Monday because it's the MLB All-Star break. So Home Run Derby is on Monday. MLB All-Star game is on Tuesday. So end of baseball slate coverage for us is going to be today and tomorrow. As you guys can see, tomorrow is badges only, most likely at least an hour early. I scheduled it for an hour earlier than usual there. Nez, will that work for you?
Yeah, I think that should be fine. There's like a bunch of shit happening in my house tomorrow, so I needed to get it moved up an hour.
Sure. So tomorrow's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern. Badges only there. Nez is going to do a little bit of basketball alongside the baseball slate for tomorrow. It's going to be a monster baseball slate. Definitely going to be broken in two because everyone's playing night games tomorrow with the exception of the Cubs, maybe, but I think the Cubs might even be on the road and playing a night slate. So everybody in action tomorrow, all in the evening. So going to have two monster slates broken up there. That'll be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, as I alluded to, double dribble on Monday because we will have no baseball to draft. So we'll do double dribble to start, and then we will do football to close. We will do some home run derby. Low-key, Nez, I am a huge fan of the All-Star break, not because
Mhm.
it's a break in baseball. I love the All-Star game. I love the home run derby. I love the All-Star game. I think I might be the minority in that, but like for ever since Nikki and I've been dating and married, she knows that that Tuesday is like the no-fly zone. Like I'm sitting down, I'm watching that thing start to finish with a pie all by myself. You know, like that's I'm either going out with the boys and watching it, or I preferably I'm sitting at home by myself, large pizza on my lap, and I just watch it start to finish because there's no way to play baseball medium. And I love to see best on best for every AB.
It's definitely the best All-Star game. That's for sure. I do think it's kind of hard for me to get into it. I've always had trouble just like getting into to that level, to that extent. But it's definitely the best All-Star game. I'll have it on the TV, like half watch, whatever. Um, Home Run Derby, though, I am a fan of the Home Run Derby. I think the Home Run Derby is sweet. It gets a little old, but like just like as it drags on. But it is nothing cooler than just seeing dudes hit tanks, though. So,
Dude's hitting
but
dingers,
where's the All
baby.
Star game at this year? Anyways, I forget.
Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the only reason I know that top of mind was Brian Wu got added like the other day and like called his parents like crying because they were coming to watch him pitch in New York tonight. And then narrative street for playing him tonight in our slate, parents in the building. But yeah, he was like crying to his parents and like, what do you guys feel about going on to Atlanta after that? And his dad's just like, no fucking way, no fucking way. Like he gets like so jacked up.
That's a great moment. That's a great
Yeah,
moment.
very cool. All right, Nez, that's all I had in terms of news nuggets. The new update, the Puppy 2 being out for people to check out the Coach Speak Index stuff from yesterday. Link down below somewhere there. And then our upcoming schedule right here. The only thing I would add to this upcoming schedule is we will have the Solver Series video as well for you guys on the weekend. They're sandwiched between the badges only and the double dribble there. So most likely be up for the Membies on Saturday, free to everyone Saturday night, kind of like that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Cool. Nez, let's go to last night's winners. And last night's winner is not going to surprise anybody. One on Mount Rushmore, one doing his best to be on there, though we have not officially crowned him yet. But shout out to the GOAT, Sam Olson here. As easy as playing two good baseball players, Jose Ramirez scorching hot right now. Jaron Duran in there as well. Mackenzie Gore, who was my SP1 on the slate there, and then a contrarian Yankee stack in a good spot at home with the left-handed power. Shout out to the GOAT. It's that easy, huh?
Goats stay goats, man. Who's surprised? Who's surprised? Great showing from Sam here.
Very good stuff. Shout out to Car Park as well up there. Gets that Jazz Chisholm swap in there to go alongside a Boston Red Sox onslaught. Nobody swaps better than our guy Car Park.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. Good Lord. Unbelievable.
Some alpha in the chat. I knew BBV was old. I did not know he was this old to tell us that there was 3 years that the MLB had 2 All-Star games. I imagine because they split it up by National League and AL or something like that, or they played multiple, but 1959 through 1962. That's a cool little fact trivia when talking about the game with the people.
So I was like, it froze for a second there. No, yeah, I did not know that. Today I learned.
Today I learned as well. So that's a fun fact from our guy BBV. The people are asking what kind of pie I'm all about there. I am not a pineapple on pizza guy. No fruit on my pizza for me. I got a couple old standbys. One you guys will be appalled by. I do like a chicken and crumbled bacon with the white ranch sauce, like the jalapeno ranch sauce. Yeah, you guys will be appalled by that one. And then I'm a pretty basic guy outside of that. I like some meat lovers. I like some the Canadian, as they call it, with the mushroom, pepperoni, bacon, and green peppers. Like just a little something like that. But yeah, I am definitely not a pineapple on the pizza. We got to set the record straight there, Nez.
Ooh, man, chicken, crumbled bacon, and ranch is like the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are kind of on board. Are you on board?
No.
Oh,
that's just like that's just very that's just very American. Just ranch, bacon, and chicken on a pizza is wild.
It was a high school thing that the boys did, and we just fell in love with it. And there was a cheesy cheddar dip to go with it from this place called Panago. You guys got Panago? Panago is like a chain, but it's like
not where I'm at.
Yeah. It's like, anyways, it was like a build your own Panago one, and then this like cheesy cheddar dip. So you did the inverse. You did ranch on the pizza, and then you did the cheesy dip, opposed to the inverse. Anyways, who gives a fuck? Let's move on. All right, Nez, let's talk about today's slate. We got a 7-gamer. We got some games that were not on the previous main slates, so that's kind of nice because there's not a ton of ball games today. It's actually kind of a treat that on a Thursday we get a 7-game slate at all. Normally, way more day game, getaway games, that sort of deal. So nice to get a 7-gamer on a Thursday, but we got some of those series that we hadn't had included that were only on the After Dark. I'm thinking about Rangers and Angels. I'm thinking about Athletics and Braves that have now been added to this main slate here, and they're presenting some good hitting conditions. I think the macro that I would say about this slate is it looks like bats go boom. And outside of, Brian Wu and pending your thoughts on Spencer Strider, things are looking a little bleak on the pitching side of the equation.
Yeah, like it's hard not to take Strider and Wu really, really early in these drafts just because pitching is really, really bad outside of that. But on the plus side, it's like if you don't get those two, it's just kind of like who cares? Like who cares who you take? It's probably not going to matter.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in lockstep with you there too. And I was looking, let me just confirm my math for half a second here. I do want to make sure that I'm correct about this. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're good now. Okay. I was just looking earlier. I was like, man, I'm surprised people weren't vaulting Logan Allen up a bit higher, but it does look like he's moved up a little bit in the rankings now. He is SP4 now. So yeah, that was kind of like the secret sauce earlier in the day, because that's going to be the Stone Cold Chalk on Redacted is going to be to play Brian Wu alongside Logan Allen. So I was surprised that Logan Allen wasn't getting boosted up even higher, and now he's kind of appropriately priced. now. Your first initial runs there, Nez, were you then prioritizing those top two guys, like kind of after the Judge Acuna or before Judge Acuna, or what was your thought?
I was definitely making Strider a priority.
Okay.
That was that was my main objective going in. But after that, like it was, you know, Acuna was my absolute like 102, and then Brian Wu 103. So that's how I had it. Like I didn't want to like not have a large amount of Acuna
Mhm.
playing against JP Sears in Sacramento.
Mhm.
Wanted that. So I'm not ignoring him, but yeah, that was how I had it.
Okay, so initial stuff from Nez is Strider over Wu, and that's how ADP has it, but Acuna over Judge, and that's not how ADP has it. So good stuff there.
Yeah. Um, Judge, man, I've got him 4 right now, but that could easily change.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely tough matchup against Brian Wu, who's just been a model of consistency this year. Does not have a start under 6 innings this season. So I mean,
That's wild.
dude just gets after it every single time. But obviously, tough place to pitch and dealing with a little bit of potential weather there. The two kind of main spots on our slate to be concerned about weather because we are missing on this slate some of the day games that have weather. It forecasts look better on the East Coast in the evening in terms of weather situations here. The most notable one is the White Sox. There, the Chicago stuff, which would affect kind of our view on Logan Allen in particular, but Jonathan Cannon as well. But yeah, that's the most noteworthy one. And then the most noteworthy in the opposite direction is basically 100 degrees in Sacramento, like bump to the bats with slight wind blowing out there. So I just found it kind of interesting because I was prioritizing Brian Wu over Spencer Strider. I know Strider's been going a bit nicer as of recently, but yeah, that Yankees lineup definitely strikes more fear into your heart than the Athletics do, even at home. But I was a little scared by that weather that the some of the pick'em odds for even the Athletics, I was shocked to learn that Nick Kurtz was a 2.3 or something in the pick'em lobby against Spencer Strider. I was like, in what world kind of deal? So that had me a little skittish on the Strider stuff.
Yeah, he's always been prone to the long ball. So like, yeah, I'm not like totally surprised. I think that's like what you get with Strider is some slight boomer bust, but like you said, going a lot better in these last few weeks. So yeah, I'm leaning on him right now.
Cool. They in the 7 games here, Nez, some decently high totals. We were dealing with a couple of 7s and 7.5s over the last couple slates. Here we're doing some 9.5s, some 9s. We got that 10, which is that Sutter Health Park one. Some 9.5s, some 8.5s. To you, in terms of hitting conditions, where's the spot that just jumps out the most to you?
I mean, for sure, Braves against Athletics. That's
Okay.
like 101 for me, no doubt. After that, definitely Mariners um, against the Yankees. That's another one that I'm stacking up a good bit.
Okay.
And then of course, Fenway, right? Like both these teams should have the ability to put up a big run total. It's just like which it's Taj Bradley, right? Like which Bradley are you getting on the mound today?
Yep.
But I'd have no problem clicking Rays today against Walker Bueller, and I don't know why they're so cheap either. Like
Yeah.
that is I felt like I was missing something.
No, that's exactly where I went in my first couple of drafts. Was in particular stacking Braves alongside Rays, whereas kind of exactly where I was at. I saw Vin DP in a couple drafts there alongside me, and he was fighting me on that same stuff. I saw some interesting Walker Bueller splits too. He's been pretty good against righties, but when he's been bad in a big way, like big ISOs allowed and big home runs to righties allowed, which made me kind of like some Yandy Diaz, that kind of like the um, Caminero instead of necessarily chasing the Q tag of Brandon Lau, who's been out for what is it? This will be the 4th day, so 3 straight games, something
Mm.
like that. So I was kind of playing the angle of playing some of those righties, thinking it was like a sneaky contrarian angle to where everybody else was going to chase Aranda and Low and Lau kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like really taking whoever. I'm not thinking too hard about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm always thinking Caminero, no matter what. And
Okay.
then yeah, and then low for me. But Lau Q tag definitely has me like, ew, I don't know. But obviously a swap's no big deal.
Yeah, it was a side injury on Sunday and got lifted early, and now he's missed the whole week basically. So I mean, it's obviously bullish that he didn't get like put to the IL, but then maybe they just didn't need the roster spot and he could still get retroactively added and be a 10-day stint. But yeah, it kind of feels like he should be back in the upcoming here, but we will see. Couple other notes, just macro from that game because you brought up the Red Sox there, Nez. Bregman could be back basically any day now. They did say prior to the weekend. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to get his footing before the All-Star break and that sort of thing. I thought they would just kind of give him the extended rest and then play it through the All-Star break and then come back fresh on the other side. But baseball players built different sometimes. Maybe he wants to get in there, get his timing, get that sort of stuff, and then work through the All-Star break opposed to taking the time off. Yeah, just thought that was interesting. And then Yoshida's back, and he hasn't been hitting the cover off the ball, but he's been getting base hits and not striking out as he's prone to do. So it's going to be a little bit of a log jam when dealing with the Red Sox lineup upcoming in terms of who's going to be getting ABs because basically everyone's played well throughout that lineup. And I don't know who's going to be the odd man out on given days. It's going to be a handedness thing at times, but basically they have 5 guys that are going to be outfield / DH, and one of them is going to have to sit every single day. Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, they've kind of got champagne problems right now with the way that their lineup is hitting, which has been just like really, really good. They've been like the offense to have for quite a few slates now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing there. I haven't like given it too much thought, so I don't have like any sort of guess. But yeah, they should be a little dangerous once they get him back.
Yeah, definitely. I think tonight might be okay with no Bregman. I think still, but there's a non-zero chance. But I think you can still get Duran, Anthony, Abreu, Yoshida, and Rafaela in the lineup together if Yoshida plays first base. And Yoshida's been working out at first base. So his at-bats could come at the expense of Abraham Toro, something like that. And then they use Anthony as the DH because they like the defense of the other 3 more or whatever. Anyways, just kind of galbraning some stuff for you guys as you play over the weekend that this lineup can fluctuate quite greatly and their positions in the order can fluctuate quite greatly at going against the Rays all weekend.
Good shout.
Cool. Nez, as I said on the unabated odds there, we got some high totals, which is reflected in high isolated team totals here. As you alluded to, liking the this is from the Ballpark Pal. Obviously, this is the free forward-facing resource here, but we're seeing more games or more teams with totals in the 5 than like the slate we broke down together on Monday, for instance, that had 9 games available to us, and we only had like 1 or 2 in the 5s there to talk about. We're seeing a bunch here today and some other Galbrain spots that we can still get to with high 4s. So yeah, just you talked about Red Sox, Rays, Mariners, and Braves as kind of your overarching favorite to start, and that's reflected in the Ballpark totals here. Where else do your eyes go when you're seeing this?
I mean, clearly Rangers and Angels, obviously see a 10 total there. Rangers getting well I know they get Kohanowitz, I think it is on the mound for them. So yeah, neither of these pitchers strike much fear in my heart, but I definitely lean more towards the Angels side with their righties.
Okay, cool. Yeah. A lineup that in the beginning of the season, the righties were playing better against right-handed and they were bad against lefties. And that's slowly correcting itself as we kind of envisioned would happen. Classic small sample size stuff there with the handedness. They are historically a lineup that kills lefties. Yeah, maybe you get some sneaky Luis Rengifo in there too, who's better from that side as well. Come on, baby. Some Logan O'Hoppe. What do you know? Travis Darno.
Hobby's a better suggestion. I don't know. Renhefo, maybe, man, maybe. But
Travis Darno, lefty
I
killer,
need to
dude.
see. I need to see it more, man. Renhefo had like one slate breaking night, and that's it. We haven't really seen much from old Renhefo this season, and I liked. And I'm the former Renhefo guy, so I don't know. We'll see where he's at. But Darno's swinging a hot bat, so he's probably going to stay in the lineup. Adele has been just so awesome the last couple months, I guess I should say. But yeah, there's a lot of options for the Angels for sure. That just like make a lot of sense with all these righties against Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, interesting double bubble too, because you don't traditionally think of attacking Patrick Corbin as double bubble leverage, but he's going as SP3 today, and that was the number one X out fade of the day for me when I was looking at the pitching stuff. Do you agree with that, Nez?
To have no Patrick Corbin today?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I was shocked by that initial ADP, and I imagine the hashtag models will agree with me, though I haven't looked at Gardy's stuff yet. We will get there in a minute. Nez, before we go into pitching, any love for anything else on the slate here? Some contrarian angles. What do you like?
No, I think we kind of covered like the chalk. There's not too many like the one angle that I think is interesting that doesn't seem to be really looked at very much is Nationals lefties against Miles Michaelis. So sure. I'll be heading that direction again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll take a look at their ADPs in a second here, but traditionally speaking, they're a little bit more underpriced than we've grown accustomed to paying for James Wood and CJ Abrams and that sort of thing. They were pretty hot last night as well there. And Nathaniel Lowe going deep there. Nathaniel Lau. No.
He's low.
He's low. He's Josh and Nathaniel. Okay, I got it right. Okay, good. Lows and Laus forever tripping your boy up. Nez, you are the whisperer of the bad ballpark game at the bottom there. Will you have much of the Padres and the D-backs this evening?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, we'll see if I ever get to it, I guess, right? But like, don't think so though. Okay. Doesn't seem like it.
Okay. And then some potential for the double bubble leverage for Strider with the Athletics, where we know good hitting conditions, and they're a lineup that's loaded with power. And they displayed it. Was it not last night. They lost 11-2. The night before they displayed it, where Lawrence Butler went yard twice and that sort of deal. So any love for some of that potential double bubble?
Yeah, definitely. I think that you can absolutely get to that game. It doesn't feel good, right? Because it's SP1, and there's other good spots on the slate. But you can absolutely get there. Like Strider can be hit hard. Right. That's absolutely true.
Cool, man. Let's jump back to the newly renovated platform here. This thing looks slick as hell. Let's go to the pitchers tab here, Nez, and let's just strike out Patrick Corbin there right in the middle by initially. That's our spot. But this Strider versus Woo, you are on team Strider. I am on team Woo, but they are kind of just SB1 and SB2 with a bullet, and then there's a huge cliff, correct?
Yep.
Cool. I am pulling up some McCarty stuff right now. He is in agreement with you. He has Strider 5 points higher in terms of his projection versus Brian Woo there. So they're still 1 and 2, but a huge discrepancy, more so than the ADP would indicate. So I thought that was worth sharing there. All right, let's start having the difficult conversations here, Nez. Where do we go next at pitcher?
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have like any set ranks. Like I don't have anybody ranked after this. It's just like whoever I'm not stacking against. My preference, I think, starts with Eduardo Rodriguez.
Okay. Good place to pitch. Mitigate some of that left-handed power. We've seen 3 outings from him of 10 plus Ks this season, which was kind of shocking to learn.
Yeah. So He just seems fine. Good park to pitch in, which is like where like I'm really kind of, drawing this conclusion from. And, I know Logan Allen's chalky or will be like close to 100% drafted. I don't know, man. I'm not like in love with Logan Allen today.
Sure.
So I'm probably gonna try to fade that. And I think that like this is like the one time that scrolling down for pitcher can make the most sense today.
Don't
Is
tempt me
on
with a
today's
good
slate.
time, baby. Don't tempt me with a good time. So if we're scrolling, Nez, where are we scrolling to?
So Erod counts, right? Erod counts. After that, man, I think Soroka you can look at to scroll to. He's had a couple like outings that are better than I would have expected right now. He's got some left, some tough lefties as far as platoon side goes that he's got to deal with, and he does get hit hard by lefties. So like that's not ideal, but it's a decent part to pitch in, and he's a scroll option. He's SP7. I don't think many people are going to be looking his way, and like I said, I'm not expecting any slate breakers down here. I'm just really trying to avoid what I think could be a bad game for Logan Allen. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm drafting White Sox. Maybe I should by saying that. So that has me looking at Soroka today as another option.
Cool. Yeah, good Canadian kid, former top prospect who got injured multiple times in weird, gross ways, and then now is pitching back to relevancy over the last kind of year and a half.
Yeah, not the worst season for him right now.
No. Okay, cool. That anything else you want to say? I mean, JP Sears has had 2 nice ones in a row, or we used to be JP Sears respectors. Any love there? Stroman back in the big leagues for his 3rd start back up there. He's been like just kind of consistent and middling, aka not the worst. So like, 6, 7 fantasy points kind of thing. Like, does this feel like a macro kind of slate where it's like the difference between 6 from Stroman and 7 or 8 from Logan Allen will matter? I don't know. It kind of feels like the bats win this slate, or best bats coupled with those top 2 pitchers. If they happen to get to like 22 and it's a have to have it score, a 20 or a 22 because of the divide between these guys. But yeah, just thoughts on that macro.
Yeah, that when you put it like that, I think I'm going to consider some Taj Bradley.
Just like the variance associated with it, or the safety of it, or what do you like?
Yeah, so like, will he like a bad game for Taj Bradley? Like, does that put you out of contention for first today? Like, maybe not. But he does have a pretty like decent ceiling. We've at least seen a ceiling from Taj Bradley at points in his career, more in his career than this season itself.
This season. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a ton of strikeouts, it looks like, to be had from the Red Sox against right-handed pitching, but he still, I think, has a higher ceiling than pretty much any other pitcher on this slate. So, if I end up with Taj Bradley late, I guess it's not as gross as I initially made it out to be in my mind.
Okay. Yeah, the projection models will agree with you. Cardi has a 20 on Strider, then he's got a 15 and a bit on Woo, he's got a 14 on Bradley, and a 13 on Erod. So those are kind of his 4 favorite. And then everybody else is like 11 point, 10 point dumpster diving at the bottom. So it is truly a stars and scrubs at the pitcher. And these are kind of like trying to thread the middles tier is Erod and Taj Bradley.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. I guess the nice things that we can say about like some of these other stuff, like the Erod one is like we've seen ceiling with the strikeouts. The Logan Allen one is like maybe the White Sox are the worst lineup on the slate. I'm not sure I believe that, but it's getting because they've been getting considerably better in recent memory, but like they're close kind of thing. The Soroka one is just kind of like maybe the Cards are the worst lineup and there's a good place to pitch there. Taj Bradley, at least we've seen ceiling in the past, but a lot of the Ks have been taken out of that lineup, and really taken out once you add Yoshida back in there too. So it's kind of gross. Stroman, professional ass righty, kind of, sort of, maybe, but was getting lit up at AAA before even getting called up. Like, he didn't earn the call up. It's because of injuries in front of him, but he's pitched well since being back up. There's no strikeouts in it, but yeah, Sears just feels like a bridge too far. Cannon, I don't know, maybe at least Cleveland's kind of hurt right now and they strike out more than they used to. If you wanted to go there, I don't know. It's really whack-a-mole at the bottom, dude.
Yeah. Just don't stack against yourself and you're fine.
Yeah. Patrick Corbin, I guess the nice thing you could say is that the Angels strike out a lot, but they also hit a lot of home runs. So that one is like a polarizing outcome. That's like not the safety outcome. If you go with Corbin, it's like you're trying to shoot a ceiling, and that ceiling might not even be there. That ceiling might be glass. Okay, Nez, let's talk about the stacks relative to ADP. You noted that Acuna was your favorite player on the slate. He's on the cover for a reason there. And then you talked about, liking Angels, Angels was a little bit more of the contrarian variety for you, and the Rays were a little bit more of the contrarian variety, but you really liked Braves, Rays, Angels, Red Sox, and who was the last one I'm missing? Seattle.
Yeah, those were like I feel like pretty obvious spots today. Feeling awfully chalky today, but it is what it is.
Okay. Of the complete and utter grossest variety, who is a bat and or stack that you will mix in? Like, will you play the Cards today? Will you play one-off Nick Kurtz? Will you play one-off Soderstrom? What are we thinking?
Yeah, if in a perfect world where like I can play the volume that I want to play, I would have like a little bit of everybody. Is the truth. I mean, look at the run totals, right? There's not a single total under 8.5. Those are good environments across the board. I could talk myself into the spots that aren't chalk, but like the chalk was just like it was just so like clear as day in my opinion that's just like where I started, just path of least resistance. Let me just get a little volume in and okay, cool. Yeah, let's go to these spots. But like, for example, Mike Soroka, like, yeah, you can stack against Mike Soroka, like obviously, that seems pretty good again with a low ownership on the Cardinals. Like, yeah, I would totally do that. Taking a better look at the Diamondbacks today, like Randy Vasquez, just nothing doing against lefties for Randy Vasquez. So, Carroll, maybe you can even do Marte, who's better from the right side. Obviously you can do Marte. Marte, Naylor, like there you can get to the Diamondbacks, a team that I initially was just like, oh, I'm off, but like, Carroll is not free by any means, but like I'm sure other people think like I do, where like, I'm just so gravitating towards like what the chalk is that in reality, like, yeah, I would have a little bit of everybody, which is, sort of like, playing the hits for baseball, but
sure, yeah,
today more so than ever, like it's not even that cute. It's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, cool. No, I respect what you're saying there. The reason people like the chalk so much, even though JP Sears has been going nice the last couple times, but the 100 degrees, the slight wind blowing out, and we're dealing with a guy who pitches 51% fly balls, Nez, the highest mark on the slate there. He also has a hard contact of 29.7, which is good for like third or fourth on the slate as well. So just the combination of power righties against a lefty who gives up fly balls just looks like the perfect, like, checks all the boxes for the Braves kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it really just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Then again, it's baseball, right? So who knows? Actually, did you see yesterday, and as the perfect encapsulation of it's baseball is Bryce Harper is in a bad ballpark for hitting, and he hits a home run. Then he hits 3 doubles, 2 of which were right off the top of the wall to the deepest part of the ballpark in San Francisco. And then he comes up against a pitcher. Yastrzemski was pitching and throwing knuckleballs from the left side. It was actually pretty cool to watch. He's throwing like 68-mile-per-hour knuckleballs that like looked pretty nice and gets him to pop up to third base. And it's just like, that's baseball, bro. That's baseball.
No better example. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's so good. Okay, Des, I am gonna go back one last time at the park factors from the ballpark pal. No, I'm not, because I got logged out for the seventh time courtesy of Dub Club for no fucking reason. All right, never mind. It's so fucking annoying. It pisses me off every day. Like, yeah, someone's stealing my $10 a month account. Like, get out of here. Um, guys, 3 more minutes to get into WNBA. It was a 2-gamer that's starting in the middle of the day. Weird, the last 2 days that WNBA is being played in the middle of the day. I don't know why. Maybe that's in tandem with Summer League or something like that. But yeah, we got 3 minutes left to fill the buzzer beater there for WNBA if you are into that sort of thing. Nez, I'm going to click on this bad boy and I'm going to get in here. Main slate, one more spot.
Let's go.
Shout out to Randy, who said he had a good main slate, then a good after dark, ready to make some more cash today. Love to see it. Good luck, my friend. Brandon wants to, or Braden wants to, us to do the best bowl mania, which is the college football streets. That is outside my depth, but I think at some point in time here we could get on someone who knows a little college football ball and definitely do that. But that will not be today.
Nope, not today. I couldn't name you more than like John. I don't know that I could name you a second college football player outside of Arch Manning.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a bit. Like, it's actually like, if there was anything that is completely outside of my depth when it comes to guys naming dudes, it's current generation of college players. Absolutely. Like any other sport, I can go toe to toe. Even WNBA now. I think we can rattle some names off now, but college football right now, keeping up with the recruiting classes and whatever, outside of like just checking in on the Huskies every now and then, that's the depth of it for me.
Yeah, man. I'm so clueless on this shit.
RM Covers coming through and asking the boys in the NBA streets. I saw Nez dropping a couple screenshots. I tried to get in there last night, but couldn't fill the lobbies a little bit later on the West Coast there. So I am going to try and get in over the weekend here, but we're going to run a show on it, Double Dribble show on Monday. I saw Mike Zakarian already ran a show based on the ADP there. I didn't have time to watch that one yet, but if you guys are itching for some ADP related content, I'd go check out that one. Nez, you said your top 4 was the 2 pitchers and the 2 hitters, so I think we're going to take Brian Wu here.
Yeah, I would, man. Especially after Judge goes, like, you don't even have to debate it, I don't think.
Cool. Sounds good to me. JGFC, did the boys have a dinger in them today? Yeah, we're going to do our best. I already did a couple earlier today, and it was a little bit of the hits. Yeah, a little bit of the hits here. So I'll share those ones in a second, and maybe Nez can replicate them to drop links in the chat for people, and then we'll build a couple more on our own accord right after we draft some baseball here. Nez, we could do some Atlanta stuff. We could do. You said you liked Washington lefties. We could use Carroll as a one-off, or do lefties there.
Let's do Carroll one-off.
Sure. I mean, just a good place to go for fantasy points against a pitcher who gives it up to left-handed players.
Oh, he gives it up.
Yeah, I got to do a little homework on Desmond Williams.
Who is that?
No idea.
Somebody I should be drafting, apparently?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. If you say so.
Mike's Money Picks is a high school teacher, but he knows his college ball and does good coverage. Provides ranks for $3 a month.
Sold. I mean,
we're in.
That's so sick.
Oh, it is the Dogs. Okay, so this is Dogs quarterback this year.
You dub.
Yeah. Oh, and there's no S in it. It's no S in it. I said Desmond. It's Damon. You know where my mind goes with Desmond?
Ritter?
Desmond Jennings. You remember Desmond Jennings?
No, who's that?
Former center fielder for the Rays, who had a couple years. Austin Riley. You said you liked Atlanta stuff.
Yeah, I think we do Riley, and let's think about what we do from here. We could do this. We can make this a 3-1-1 and finish with a stack of a completely different team.
Sure.
We could go like 2-3 because we could probably get some D-backs. It seems like nobody's really on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because like so what do you think about, like, do you want to do Albies or Ozuna here for a Brave?
I kind of like doing Olsen. I don't mind him lefty. I think he's pretty good against lefties.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down to do Olsen here and then do a contrarian 2-man, or we could tack on like Profar or Ozuna here.
Yeah, we got options.
Yeah.
How's Profar been doing since he's been back?
He made the funniest play in the outfield for no reason that I had ever seen. In his second game back, where he took like this zigzag route, then dove, and then turned a single that he could have just knocked down in front of him into a triple, and it was awesome. And then he homered the second night I think he was back. So I haven't looked at like the macro stats, but I know he homered the first night or the second night that he was back, and then he made a couple blunders in the outfield. But I think he's a good addition for them, enough so that they who'd they let go? Verdugo? Yeah. Was it Verdugo they let go or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Okay, yeah.
I have a funny stat for you in a second here. It's not about anybody that we were talking about, but it is just a great stat.
Sure. Got to acknowledge our friends and family in this draft. Jay Witz is in here. Turbotron's in here. Chris Lopez, always hanging out in the chat. The Wood, who makes one of the best products on the market there. And they're kind of all staying in their lanes. Nez, tell me where you want to go with these last two roster spots.
I think we go Atlanta.
Okay. You want to use Junior Caminero as a one-off and then end it with Atlanta?
Yeah, I like Junior a lot. We can do that.
Okay. Let's do it. And then we add an ATL bat on here. Stuart Fairchild, lefty killer, might draw in today. Sean Murphy will probably have the handedness advantage as well in there. Doubt Drake Baldwin's in the lineup. Eli White, who was surprisingly better against righties thus far this season, for whatever reason, but he'll probably draw in against the lefty today. Pick your favorite outfielder here, Nez.
Let's do Profar. Let's get a little bit of uniqueness on this stack.
Jurickson Profar revenge game against the team that the team that gave him his career back after being a failed 1-1.
I forgot about him in that tenure.
Yeah.
So John, on June 22nd.
Okay.
Tommy Pham deals with these like this eye thing that he has going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He got like a prescription change, and now he can like see again.
Mm-hmm.
Since June 22nd.
Yep.
Tommy Pham is averaging .444 batting average, slugging .733, 233 WRC plus since that day.
With like 4 home runs, probably. Like how many?
3 home runs.
3 home. Yeah, that's so sick. I
50
love that.
plate appearances.
That's legit. That's the Max Muncy narrative all over again. He's doing his best to just try and get traded at the deadline, as he does every single year.
I would love that. That's the only player, one of the only players I think I would love to see a trade happen for.
Do you want to see Brian Reynolds moved?
No.
Okay. Yeah, after he did the whole like, I don't want to go to these teams or whatever. I didn't know how real it was until he said that kind of stuff.
I don't want them to trade anybody, man. Like, I know that they're bad and they should, but like, if you're not going to take some guys in the next season and like, you know, like if you don't have enough ready for next season,
Mhm.
like what the fuck are we doing? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like what are we doing here? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried. I don't trust Ben Cherington to get a good return on these Pirates.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what worries me. But what I do think will happen is I do expect Keller to get moved and potentially Bednar.
Okay. Yeah, Bednar's been that like kind of like ongoing one where it was like they never wanted to part with him, and now eventually, like at the start of the year, he was so bad and lost his job, and then now he's been good since then. But like it was like the classic, like they didn't want to give up on him because they were just like leaving the light on that they're going to be good in the future, and now it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of like, all right, our timeline's never going to catch up with Bednar. We just have to get some value for it, right?
Yeah, and like I get like in a vacuum that makes sense,
Right.
but with context of his entire tenure, it's like, buddy,
Like,
we don't fucking trust you.
right, right. Oh man. Some funny stuff in the chat here. Yeah, Rays legend Desmond Jennings here. I was actually just looking him up on the side here. Nez Desmond Jennings, a career. What do we got here? 95 bags and 55 bayous. That's not bad. He played 7 years in the league, all with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Mariners tried to trade for him twice, did not work out, and then they got some other little outfielder for center field, Leone Martin. Leone. Who was it? I'm putting Leone Tavares and Martin together. The old Rangers center fielder. I can't remember. Yeah.
Not
Anyway.
Tavares?
No. Leone Tavares was this year. This one was like, 5 or 6 years ago when they were trying to trade for Desmond Jennings, and then they ended up with this other guy. This is a switch hitting center
You're having
fielder.
a conversation with yourself here.
Yeah. Someone in the chat will remember and name him.
No, you're just flexing here. Give me 1 second.
Desmond Jennings in his 2011 season, 7th runner-up for Rookie of the Year there. I just remember him being like a Roto League darling. Like everybody was chasing the dream of like, this 2012, like 25 years old, 13 home runs, 31 bags. Like everyone was chasing that dragon. All right, let's rip one more of those drafts. Then we will do a home run pick 'em, and then we will do Puppy 2, when Puppy 2, soon Puppy 2. 2 more spots in this one for everyone. Yeah, Purple Yosh, I have no idea, man. How do these guys make it to the big leagues and they can't even see? And then they get their eyes adjusted once they're up here. Like, just crazy, man. Maybe you're just bad at evaluating talent. I don't know, man. I was like 20 years old trying to chase the dream of Desmond Jennings in a home league. I don't think there was much talent evaluation going down. Had some good games against the Tigers back in the day. He was a good defender. Or yeah. So many guys who I thought would be good turned out to be mediocre or terrible. That's so funny. I mean, so many guys, man. We all chase that dream in every sport, man.
Running back.
Leonis Martin.
I
nailed it. Guys naming dudes. (2011) through 2019. Left-handed hitter, center field. Love it.
So, John, you never gotten any double dribble lobbies?
No, I fired up 2 BBMs. We were out for dinner last night, a little bit of date night kind of thing. came home, had a glass of wine, put on a Netflix thing, and was like, I'm firing up, a couple BBMs right now. And then I fired up a double dribble at the same time. And by the time I drafted 2 BBMs, the double dribble still didn't full. It was like 11 out of whatever. And I threw it in the Discord for everyone. Let's build a different team than last time. Let's start with Acuna here. You're 101 on the day, Nez.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. 2 homers last night. Dude is cooking. No concern about that knee. I actually haven't looked at how much he's been running. Has he been running? Maybe he hasn't needed to run because he's been hitting the ball out of the park so freaking often.
Yeah, he just like doesn't have to.
Yeah. Because I remember our concerns in Dinger season was like, it was nothing to do with the power. It was the sample sizes of when he came back from the ACL the previous time is he stopped running. But I guess if you're just going to hit, a home run in every 8 at bats that you have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see after the All-Star break, maybe he starts to run a little bit more. I'm honestly surprised he's doing the home run derby.
Fucking sweet home run derby this year.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah. Do we have anyone else official? It was weird that Pete Alonso, Mr. Home Run Derby, guy loves the home run derby. He's finally having a good first half, and he's just like, nah, I'm not in.
He can't ruin what's going on right now, which is clearly one of his best starts, even though he did slow down a good bit, like we talked about. But I don't know. I'm sick of seeing him in the derby. I'm glad that he's not doing it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I get that narrative too, where it's like, oh yeah, we've seen it a bunch of times. Like, let someone else have their shine, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Checking in on some lineups right now. Nez, Marlins and Reds are out. They're not on our slate. We got the Red Sox out. Okay, cool. I'll read that in a half second here. We could do the aforementioned Red Sox. We could play the hits and put Austin Riley and Acuna together here. We could do Michael Nelson Trout. What do you like?
Ooh, let's do Trout.
Ooh, you like Trout more than Austin Riley?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do some Angels here, I think.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna take on an Angels path.
Lucy said Brent Rooker was announced as well, so there's another big bopper in there. I'm pulling it up on the side here. We'll go through it in a half second. Oh shit, Byron Buxton is in right now. He might find his way out in a heartbeat here.
Yeah, he got hit, right? Yeah, in the hands. That's right.
Just a classic Byron Buxton like freak thing, like it's just always like this garbage stuff that happens to him that doesn't keep him healthy,
Some are saying it's because Numi went full Icarus on him and it just continues to make Will Fuller comments. And I mean, don't fly too close on there, buddy.
We're on the clock here. This I don't know how you say their name beside us, but like Rosma has intercepted our plan and taken Adele and Riley from us. So we're gonna have to go a different way. Yeah, maybe Tampa and do like a Tampa 3-man.
Yeah, that's always fun.
All right, let's see if we can put the Tampa infielders all on the lineup here. Dude, if I had like a low-key pick to click today, that's like kind of being slept on, that's not like your prototypical guy, you're going to see it in my pick'em lobbies in a second here. I got Yandy Diaz for a little yank over the monster there. These right-handed ISO numbers that I was looking at versus Walker Buehler, and then his price tag compared to like some of the other guys on his own team, I was kind of like, okay, he's been nice with it for the last like basically 50 days, 60 days now.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's not going to take much,
Yeah. Classic Dewey. Oh, man. He's Numi's out of office this weekend, guys. So if you have any concerns, issues, whatever, do not take liberty with it. But Brett Boy and Hope are your people to target there in the Discord.
I don't know. Numi, maybe just hit Numi with the tag, just to get them all riled up,
just to get them gassed up. Yeah, nice little golf trip for him. Nez, I did not tell you. I told the Coach Speak Index yesterday that the reason I can't do tomorrow's show and Nez is doing a no strip Nez in the morning for everybody. There is we're in a golf tournament this weekend. It's a memorial tournament for a friend that we played hockey with and lost there. And it's just a bunch of puck guys hanging out, ripping golf balls. And it's a little 2-dayer. Got tea time tomorrow and then the following morning. Caminero here or Yandy?
Caminero.
Okay. We're probably going to end up with both, but who knows? Yeah, anyways, I takes Yandy. This guy's just watching and sniping us.
Bro, what?
Bit. Yeah, this is a good in. Is a good bit.
Are you serious?
I don't hate it. But yeah, so there's like every hole is sponsored and there's like a gimmicky thing to each of it. So there's like a knock it over the water, a skip it off the water, like a 4-iron par 3 hole. There's a only putt with a hockey stick hole. There's a do a shotgun, no warm up swing, straight to driver hole. It's really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But the second day is more serious. It's just like a normal round at a bigger course. But tomorrow's like the executive like shit fest. It's pretty fun.
That's cool, man.
Where do we go now? We could take Brandon Lau. We could take Brandon Lau or Josh Lowe. Or we could get even crazier with it and do like Danny Jansen, Jose Caballero,
Chandler Simpson.
Nah. Do you know? I know homers aren't the be all end all of scoring fantasy points, but they're king on our site in the same way that touchdowns are king. What do you think Chandler Simpson's odds in the Pick'em lobby to homer today are?
They sound like they're pretty high.
Handedness advantage, decent park to hit in.
Not a decent home run park, though. Let's be clear.
For a lefty, wrapping around the pole?
I mean, that's the only way you're going to do it, is wrapping it.
Yeah, and he's got no oppo to the... It's the shortest right field for him to hit one in baseball, but he's got no oppo power to get over the monster.
I'll say 8x.
17.7x.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He might hit one inside the fucking park.
I mean, if Patrick Bailey could do it, anyone can do it.
I mean, he's fast as shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know.
I don't know if he can hit a ball far enough to reach that weird ass corner in like right center field there in Fenway. But if he does, he could turn on the afterburners.
All he needs is like Jarren Duran to like trip and fall and like wedge his face into the field, and then no one's over in left field to grab the ball. That's all we need. Just a series of insane, impossible events.
Sure is. Yeah, I didn't know he was doing the home run derby for his kid. That is a cool story, Ghost. That is very cool. Influencers, can you get us another deposit bonus? It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. Nez, here we have this evergreen decision of Taj Bradley or to scroll.
Let's correlate.
I think it makes too much sense when you make the Rays onslaught to just make the correlated decision. I think that's a good shout from you.
Ray or good shout.
Taj Bradley, Jonathan Aranda, Junior Caminero, Ronald Acuna, Michael Nelson Trout, and Josh Lowe. Pretty solid team right there. Do not dupe us. We got 6 in so far. We will definitely get up to our usual 25 in this one. Nez, let's pick some dingers for the people and then rip a puppy. Oh, wow. 50% profit boost on boxing only. Very interesting. Okay. That's kind of cool. We got boxing in the lobby now.
If I knew anything.
Yeah.
I would give you something.
The only boxing I know is, dude, I've watched that video 15 times of the ex-hockey fighter going bang, bang on the guy.
That is so awesome, dude. It's
so awesome because the other dude was the antagonist and so clearly in the wrong. That's what makes it awesome.
Oh
If it
yeah,
was just
right. Yeah. That's not a
yeah,
bad guy winning.
yeah, it's the good guy winning, and the good guy gets attacked, and then the good guy makes him pay. It's pretty funny.
I mean,
Um,
it's amazing. Yeah.
Nez, let's do the home runs here. As I alluded to, live pick 'em. Well, maybe you pick your favorite of these two and share it with the people, or if you like both of them, you go with it. I did the Ozzy Albies, right-handed from his good side versus a lefty who gives up fly balls. Albies has been awful this year, but if there was ever a time in the world, it kind of looks like now, and you're getting a decent price tag. And then paired it with Junior Caminaro, which was one of Nez's favorite picks to click there. And then I did a Carlos Narvaez with Yandy Diaz. I'm going to follow up on the lineup and make sure he's in a good spot. He is, in fact, hitting fourth today. Abraham Toro is hitting third today. So Yoshida is out of the lineup by the looks of it. And so is. No, Anthony's in there. Yoshida's odd man out today, as we were alluding to. Tough lineup to parse through right now. So if you want to make those ones for the people, go with it, my friend.
You want you don't even that's so weird that usually I can still send links. All right, let me get on that.
Yeah, I can only send links on mobile for whatever reason when I've pre-made them.
All right,
Maybe it's a Canada thing. Maybe it's a regulation.
All right, Junior and Albies.
Yeah, Junior and Albies. That seems like a good one.
Seems like a great one. And then share link. There's one, and then Yandy and Narvaez.
Yandy and Narvaez it is. I like the fact that he's hitting up in the order there. I was a little worried about it when I initially made it, like where his lineup spot would be, or if like he gets an off day before the All-Star break or something, as a catcher, and they get like a Connor Wong day. But looks good now that we got the lineup.
I think I just thought of something.
Okay. My guy's cooking.
I think I like. I know it's a low multiplier, but this kid's on fire. You said it, and I haven't been able to get out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. Home run off Strider. 100 million degrees in Sacramento. Let's play it.
Okay.
And then this one we're gonna put on the laundry a little bit here. We're gonna go JP Crawford.
Okay. Crawford as a leadoff by you there.
Yeah.
All right. You made up for your low multiplier by mixing in a high one there. I'm going to click the prize box here. It looks like boxing and basketball only for that one. So going to make that one there. And then I will share the link. That one did trip me up initially, that the reuse players and the share the link have switched spots.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Lucy's saying Yandy seems like a great pick. I agree. I would like to use Yandy again. Neil, when puppy, be patient. When puppy 2 is coming, my friend. Juan Torres, yeah, man. When's knowing a sport ever stopped us from entering a pick'em?
Never in my life.
Never in my life. Nez, let's make one more, and then we will do the puppy here. I'm gonna try and keep it to the main slate here. Man, Augustine Ramirez has been so nice with it recently. I played the shit out of him yesterday. I played a ton of Buxton, and that's what killed me, to be honest. But I did play a little. Yeah. Okay. Some of these Seattle and Yankees numbers are quite low. Nothing overly interesting. Wow. This makes me kind of want to get to, you shouted out Seattle. Contrarian lefties in the middle to the last bottom, like doing like a Luke Rayleigh plus Canzone plus Raleigh when everybody else is doing the righties. Not a terrible idea today.
No, I like that.
Man, I want to use this Yandy one again. 347.
Okay.
Oop, Chandler Simpson down to 16.1 now. Look out.
He's going to homer today.
What about a Yandy Diaz Abraham Toro and just playing that game? Playing the two righty, or I guess towards the switch hitter.
Yeah.
Is that like too insane?
I don't think so. Obviously, like it's a long shot, but seems fun enough, right?
Yeah. For the BVP believers of the day, Adolis Garcia owns Jack. What's his last name? Kohanowitz. Um, he owns his ass. So Adolis is in the BVP department. So is Josh Bell against Miles Michaelis. They're both in the BVP department. If you are subscribers to that notion. Nez, is there anything else tickling your fancy, or is it time to do the footballs?
No, let's get into the football.
Let's do the damn thing. Yeah, that Adolis price tag 265 is not crazy.
No, I mean that seems totally fine.
Okay, one last one for the people. Playing that game environment, a little bit lower of a multiplier here, but the Logan O'Hoppe plus Adolis Garcia, you can pivot that O'Hoppe to Travis d'Arnaud probably as well.
Yeah, you can mix and match all day with these totals here. There's a lot of fun little spots that you can pick.
Yeah, it's like just a classic good day for bats. Like some days it kind of feels like you're not forcing, but you're kind of like, I don't love this. One more spot in the puppy. There we go. Snapville. All right, we are in to the puppy 2, and we are going to fire up the solver to go alongside this. Any recommendations for the solver for the puppy format there, Nez?
Any format, any changes to the solver?
Yeah.
I'm always, team week 17 for the puppy,
Okay.
and giving that a crank.
All right, I moved it up to high on this one.
Yeah, I mean it's only 10% to first, so it's not like it's like super top heavy. However, it's 100K to first, and it's 375 people. You might as well, right? You do get your max entry back if you do max for making it, which is not nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm team I'm team week 17 here. Yeah, M-Wald is right, man. The puppy 2 at 15% full today.
People are thirsty for it, man.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna do another one. like just keep them coming.
Right.
Keep them coming. I mean, I know people are loud on Twitter about it, but like, I don't know. You might have to hand it to him, man. The people showed up.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, it is kind of like to borrow. CeeDee Lamb goes there. Jameer Gibbs goes there. We're kind of at this little cutoff spot here, Nez. Solver likes Puka. Do you like Puka? I kind of like CMC. I'm down to do whoever here.
No, I think I'm team Puka.
Okay. This little 107 is a little bit of a soft spot tier break where it's like I think we've all clearly defined the top 6 at this point in the calendar, and you can kind of like mix and match as you see fit. But then it's kind of like Puka's kind of him and CMC have kind of become a tier by themselves now, and then it becomes like super fluid again.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I'm CD over Gibbs, but that regardless, that's a very, very, strong tier of of those top 6.
Yeah, I like it. I did F around the other day and do a truth serum thing. Hayden and Josh did a video and they posted their re-ranking of the first round. I did do a truth serum re-ranking and put it up on the X machine there. If anybody is curious, maybe I can find it and maybe you can sauce me on it as well there, Nez. But yeah, I'm becoming like the Jameer Gibbs HN slap fest right now, dude.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes like that's not like impossible for me to comprehend at all. Like for sure. Yeah, for me I think it's like Nico after CMC, and then I could probably push up all the running backs after that.
Yeah, I respect it. Nez, we get a little bit of a fall here on the big dog. I know you're bullish on the big dog. Should we just go ahead and take Derrick Henry here?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to take Derrick Henry? Like, should
Do you want
I don't
20
know.
touchdowns?
Don't you want to take Lad McConkey instead? Dude, why I'm gonna we don't you don't you who's like is there some is there are people being forced at gunpoint to fade Derrick Henry?
uh, I don't know. No, I just it's just a recurring narrative for year after year that eventually the wheels have to fall off, right? Like that's just like the standard issue narrative. He might just be the biggest freak at the position we've ever seen.
They ain't falling off. I'll tell you that much. Ian Hartitz had an awesome post today.
Mm-hmm.
Carries inside the 5 for the Ravens percentage wise. Lamar Jackson 0.
Wow. That done changed. That's like the complete inverse of like the Josh Allen and the Saquon Barkley narrative. Like everyone cites how many times Saquon was down at the 1 that led to the hurt stuff, but like that's not going away even if the rules change or they will kind of deal. So like I mean that's extremely bullish for Derrick Henry. Holy shit.
I thought that was kind of crazy.
I thought it was crazy too, man. That was crazy. Yeah, because you just think of him so much as like the rushing quarterback. Pour one out for my homies who ended up in the overflow. Much love to you guys. Best of luck there. There's a couple things here that I want to hit on in the chat. Yeah, I'm pro puppy, but I'm anti puppy complainers. That's so good. I'll leave it for 1 sec here, Des. We'll make this pick. There's 2 things in the chat I want to double back on here. Yeah.
All right.
Almost got a Josh Jacobs there, but man, this is a pretty big Trey McBride fall. I think we might just scoop her up, see what happens.
I'm not passing up on that.
Yeah, like I don't think at any point in any contest I've been able to do Henry, Puka, and McBride together. Yeah, and that would have been interesting because Pretty Ricky beside us has Bowers. Beesperf could have ended up with like a Trey McBride share at 33. That would have been pretty wild.
Ooh, yeah. That we would have gave him a hell of a start.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Dr. One, the professor in here, Respook's in here, Nick's in here with us. Pretty Ricky, Beesperf, Jay Gamb. If you guys are somebody else who I did not mention and you're hanging out in the chat, say what up. Hit the like, subscribe, notification stuff. Guys, we are here every single day in the weekday, 2 p.m. Eastern there. And then you can find us other places too. You know, we did the Coach Speak Index one. If you guys want 3 hours of football content, that's down here somewhere. The Solver series will be coming out on Saturday as well. So, yeah. Sorry. That's what were you going to say?
Putting in work, man.
Putting in work. Love to see it. Lucy, roll the clock back there to do the Mariners talk. Nez is quite bullish on the Mariners today against Stroman. All right, we are back up on the clock here, Nez. James Cook seems to be a faller here. Omari and Hampton is what the ETR stuff likes. I think we should probably go wide receiver, though, Nez. Who do you like?
Let's do Worthy.
Okay. Kind of thought you were going to say Worthy, and I talked myself into the corner of 20 seconds on the clock. I got to start remembering it's only 20s now.
Dude, I know. It's like you got to start being proactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Katie asking, where's the place to find Underdog promo info if you're not on the Twitterverse? The Twitterverse is definitely the best way to do it. The Discord is another way to do it. They post everything in the announcements tab of the Discord as well. Outside of that, there's like the occasional email stuff. I think in the future, they'll end up doing a little bit more of the push marketing variety via the email stuff there. I don't see a ton of it right now, but that maybe that's because I have some filters on or something by accident.
Yeah, I mean, like their Twitter and the Discord. You know, if you're looking for
Yeah.
the additional stuff, they'll throw out some stuff in the Discord every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. Davis was doing an all grown ass man and dogs team and went Puka at 105. A Bijan plus. It's funny if you're doing an all dogs and grown ass man team. Bijan and Henry seems like a better start than Puka at 5 start.
He still manages to take a wide receiver.
Right. Speaking of wide receivers, they just went on a huge run there, Nez, and now Romadunde goes there. I think it's probably another running back for us here, just based on the market, unless you want to do Calvin Ridley and see what comes back.
Ooh, I think Ridley.
Dude, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. This is a tough tier to parse through at the running back position. Like these vet guys, I think Chuba and Walker are my favorite of the bunch, and that's reflected in terms of ADP. But yeah, that if we just kind of like took our favorite there, I think we would have been in a way worse position than just going with the room there.
Neil's comment in the chat, John, I think is just something that that you might need to hear a little bit more whenever you're drafting. You know, Mathology was the Bash guest, which was awesome, of course, for Pete. And he said multiple times, you know, in terms of like player ADPs and whatnot, like why is this player falling? And he just simply said, you know, let's have nice things. And
have nice things.
And nobody hates having nice things like you, my friend. When you're in lobbies.
It's true. It's true. I don't like to have nice things. I like to be the rather be right than win guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Emwald did a draft with us yesterday on Coach Speak Index. Had a really nice team there. That was good. CMC plus Tyreek start. I mean, Tyreek buzz is coming here. Although Silva threw some cold water on it the other day, putting him and Waddle right beside each other, which was interesting. Nez, that pocket of running back goes away. We could take this kind of like wide receiver tier, or we could take our guy Caleb Johnson. Who do you like?
Let's do. You want to do Addison? I saw you kind of hovering over there.
I was just thinking we don't do a ton of Addison, so doing Addison.
Keep waiting for the suspension that hasn't hit yet. So,
yeah. It's funny how the trends of the room really dictate what happens, because we were banking on one of these 7 running backs coming back to us there, and all 7 went inside of 8 picks there. So.
Yeah, I the Addison stuff does still like feel weird, but he's taken such a huge hit already to his ADP. If we get a 2-game suspension, I think he'll move still, but I wonder like how far he moves if it's a 2-game.
Yeah, I mean 2-game would be so bullish. Like yeah. Nick saying he knows a guy who hates nice things that he's been drafting with recently. Guys, leave the double dribble ADP alone. Guys, just take the guys when they fall. Don't flip the board on everybody this early. I think he might be referring to the cover boy, which we put on the show thumbnail for Monday. There, I think he is one of the most wrong ADPs that I saw. Cade Cunningham and Ahmed Thompson were the 2 that stuck out to me.
Well, check again, buddy.
Why it's flipped? It's
yeah, dude. He was taking Cade Cunningham 20 picks at ADP, and now Cade's a 1-2 turn pick.
Wow.
Swift
goes there. We get some 17 with Golden. I know we both like Golden, but we probably need a running. We could maybe be able to wait. Who do you want, Golden or Pollard?
Let's do Mahomes and stack it up, man. We never do Mahomes.
I think we can get him to come back.
Okay. Golden or Pollard?
Okay. I think we can get Mahomes to come back because nobody on the right side has Chiefs.
Yeah, good point.
I've seen Mahomes fall like, well into the deep 90s.
We'll see.
My guy Evans rolling through. He's going with Yandy and CJ Abrams. If my guy Evans is doing that, I mean, quick little segue here to get over here. We'll check things out here. Evan has never led me astray before, except for the one time that he ruined our pick'em by adding Vlad to it. But that's neither here nor there. People don't forget, Evan. People don't forget. But there's the Evan one in the chat if the people want to play. I am a trustor and believer in my friends of the community. Puppy 2. Here we go. Go to
All right. I'll play it too. What the hell?
What the hell, right? What the hell?
You totally mushed your Yandy pick, though.
He did. He mushed Yandy as the best play on the board today. Jet Bombs, I know you are always rolling through for the baseball stuff. The baseball stuff is in the previous hour. Roll the tape back. Boy, doesn't matter in a puppy. Someone's going Mahomes, Kelsey.
That's what I'm worried about, man.
We made it this far. I think we're good. Wow. Jordan Mason going ahead of Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Wow. The new alpha. Aaron Jones has a little bit of a fall here, or Mahomes. You like Mahomes?
Yeah, let's do Mahomes, man. We got Worthy.
Let's do it. Also opens the door for us to potentially take a Kelsey and shut it down completely at tight end. We've been doing a lot of 3 tight end stuff in recent memory. So that could be a fun little change of pace for us. This is truly Anchor Henry after getting the fall in the second round there. Full-fledged piss boy team. A 1-1-5-1 Mahomes, Henry, Puka, Worthy, Ridley, Addison, Golden, and Trey McGronk.
Yeah, this is this is like the new 0 RB. And I was listening to a RotoViz show just the other day with Siegel and forgive me, I forget the name of one of the lead RotoViz guys there.
Uh-huh.
But they were kind of like discussing the current state of 0 RB and stuff. And one thing that they were talking about was like it should more appropriately have been named from the jump, like wide receiver heavy, and not just 0 RB, but for the polarization sake of it and whatnot, it's 0 RB, but in reality, it's just wide receiver heavy. And
right.
This is how you do it, man. This is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get your anchor and then just start pissing.
Yeah. I mean, it's working in a big way, and the fall at the tight end position and the fall at the running back position
I think
is
it was
what I
Colm,
allowed us to do.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, say again?
It was Colm.
Oh, yeah, Cole Kelly. Yeah, a bit of an accent, right?
Yeah. Irish fellow.
Here we go. Dude, Kyler and shut it down? Seems fun, unless you think we need something else.
No, let's do it.
Dude, let's do it. This is fun. We haven't done a ton of in parentheses elite quarterback. Maybe these are the tier below the traditional elite there, but I think I'm going to just go ahead, turn that quarterback button off in our mind. Okay, cool.
That's a sick QB room for sure.
It's interesting that in terms of the draft capital bucket, Go Cards is like this new solver look is a live version of the manifesto, and that's basically, he's correct. Look at the buckets are right on our screen here in terms of the allocation. It's crazy that that's only 10%, whereas just a Derrick Henry fall is 14% of target capital.
Yeah, I find that interesting. I know it is what it is, but it feels greater than that in my mind. Yeah,
it does feel greater than that in my mind as well. Maybe it's just because the names are all warm and fuzzy too. It's not because effectively we could have the exact same thing with Caleb Williams and Bo Nix in terms of capital, but that wouldn't feel as safe as Mahomes and Kyler,
Right.
Oh, we almost got a chance to mount up there, Nez. J.K. Dobbins has some 17 correlation. Najee is your boy. What do you like?
Let's do Sharps.
Oh, he goes complete rogue and splits the D in the middle and takes Sharps. I'm a little scared after you guys' conversations about Sharps versus Trey Benson the other day.
Yeah, I do agree with like everything we said there, but man, I need some clarification on Najee, man. The fact of the matter is that he's going to fall in drafts right now. He's falling in drafts right now. I just need to know for certain that this man has 2 working eyeballs.
Yeah, I would like to know for certain as well. Emwald, if you got the Summer League Sharks plays, send them my way, bro. Send them my way. I need some of these Summer League plays. If you got the plays, I'll put them on the screen. I just don't have the plays right now. He has both eyes per sources. So good. Miles saying these elite tight end falls are kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, like everybody's kind of all season been arguing that Kittle should be higher, that Brock Bowers should be higher. Yet the in-room dynamic is, Trey McBride falls in this one, and Bowers falls a little bit, that sort of deal.
Yeah, I think the Bowers fall is probably the most like egregious.
Ramondre feels like a warm and fuzzy click here, Nez, as like kind of an end of a tier, and then we can address tight end after. Do you feel differently?
No, I think Ramondre is a good pick. Definitely would not call him warm and fuzzy, but it's a good pick.
I meant warm and fuzzy in terms of like not like I'm excited to make the pick. Warm and fuzzy as in like exposure blanket wrapped, like we're getting usable points in a running back room that doesn't have a ton outside of Derrick Henry yet.
I know what you mean, but
still not warm and fuzzy.
I don't think so.
Respect it. I'm glad that someone caught the reference in the chat there with the people don't forget. That was 8 years ago, asshole.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows. Oh, wait, Jordan. Greg had some references yesterday that were over my head. He's a little more in the weeds of the recent era of pop culture than I am. But as you know, Nez, everyone is.
Yeah, I was like, who's... It's a low bar to clear.
It's a low bar to clear. Jesus, dog. Man, these pockets are so strong right now. Like it happens every draft, guys. Like this 9 through 11 of just all the purple and blue running off the boards. ADP has really shaped the market, standardizing like the builds,
Okay, I was like, well, isn't ADP the market? But
true,
I gotcha.
Trey Benson stacks and addresses the running back position for us as well. Seems good, unless you want to address tight end.
No, I'd say him or Tootin.
Who do you prefer?
I think Benson.
All right, let's
for the stack.
Yeah, the context of the roster. I don't know. In a vacuum, who would you rather have this year, Benson or Tootin? Ooh.
I don't know, man. Tootin could like Benson still needs an injury, I think.
Yeah.
Tootin could just be him.
Right. So Tootin would be the answer.
I think so.
Okay.
Seems like a better bet, It depends if I'm like putting probabilities on it. Yeah, I think I would go Tootin, but highest ceiling I think was Benson if things break the best possible way for either guy.
Okay, cool. Nez, I said I was going to Twitter to find something else, and then I did say that I was going to share my my overall rankings here, my true serum top 12 right there. And I yanked up CeeDee Lamb and Jahmyr Gibbs. Moved Saquon
I mean this
down.
this feels fine.
Yeah.
This feels fine. Like I don't know that I don't have Barkley that low. I still have Barkley ahead of Bijan, I think. But Yeah, like this feels good.
This is
But
because
Amon-Ra is not Amon-Ra's not in my top 15.
right. Yeah. I'm not as smart as you. I just go 120 touches last year with the goal line vulture of Hertz, and then I go with the Madden cover curse, and I'm like, dude, Saquon's undraftable. Ned's back up on the clock here. 20 seconds to make nice. Feels like running back again, dude.
Yeah, Algier for the handcuff.
Yeah. This is a very interesting draft. We spent 2 on the quarterbacks early. We locked up that elite tight end. We kind of got this like middling wide receiver room, but we feel good enough to keep kind of like passing on wide receiver. But like the way this I don't know, like the way this gets home is like Benson and Algier, like Ramondre, this kind of thing. Like, would you rather take shots on like Hunter, Giddens, Sampson with like this type of room, or are these bets like better?
I mean, like, who else are you going to pick?
I guess you just keep going with like tight end and wide receiver, I guess.
I think we have better clarity on who's the RB2 there. Like, we don't know for a fact that Hunter's the RB2.
True. Yeah, the clarity aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what makes this draft window tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you for sure. Like, you know, like it's definitely not as probably cut and dry as we think, but you know, we're also digging in talent for these guys.
Solver likes Romeo Doubs, and I like Romeo Doubs. Do you like anything else?
Running backs. Eckler, is Bigsby there? No, Bigsby's gone. Dubs is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of 17 correlation off of the Henry stuff as well, and a little bit of team correlation with the Matthew Golden stuff. Maybe the bye weeks wasn't the greatest thing in the world there, but a little bit of ADP value as well. Felt okay.
Yeah, double Packers. I know I think we could probably call this a 7 wide receiver team pretty comfortably.
Yeah, the interesting thing I was just about to ask you is where the hell are you going to spend the capital? Because you're good at quarterback, unless you want to like tack on like A-Rich in the last round. You're pretty good at running back, but we could add 1 more. 2 more would be insane. And you're pretty good at tight end because you made such a good bet on the Trey McBride with the fall there that you probably only need 1 more tight end. So where do you spend the capital if you don't spend it on 1 more wide receiver?
Yeah. It's just a luxury pick, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might be better off taking a third tight end because like who's likely to hit your flex, like a tight end, like that tight end hypothetically, or like some 18th round wide receiver. Like I would probably argue the tight ends.
I'll tell you the wide receiver that I would like to take right here, and it's Michael Wilson.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do that.
Okay. Like that was kind of like in my mind, I was like, if we get Michael Wilson back, like I didn't want to say it out loud yet. I was like, that's where I would spend the capital because now we got that 4-stack Arizona. Now I feel like pretty good about the wide receiver room. Not a ton of bye week overlap there.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Now I think we can add. Now we have definitely a luxury pick to spend on one of the onesies and 1 running back. So tight end, running back, and then the last pick, or however we want to allot it. But I think that's how you land this plane.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think I lean 2-7-7-2.
2-7-7-2.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's a puppy and I trust you, but with Derrick Henry, I don't think I would ever add a 7th running back.
Why would you add a third tight end with Trey McBride?
Because of the argument you just laid out about the flex scoring thing. You made that argument, not me.
That was over a wide receiver.
Oh, okay. A running back you think's just like a better ceiling shot opportunity.
Yeah, just like mystery box. What if X player gets hurt?
Okay.
this player steps up. Because like we do need an RB2, and the current RB2 is who again?
Sharps. Kate Otten, Rico. Who do you like?
I'm fine with Cade. I don't feel like too strongly about anybody here, and the guys that I like for RB 6 and 7, like I can name guys for days.
Right. Like Rico doesn't feel like that guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, do I think Rico would benefit from an injury? Like, absolutely, but Kate Otten's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like you clearly wanted Kate Otten there. Like, I have no problem with Kate Otten instead of Rico. Like that. That's no sweat off my back.
Right. Yeah. Gonna play a little catch up here on the chat here. Sun God in the top 15 for eliminator, high floor. Yeah, that checks out to me.
Yeah. That's a different story for sure.
Yep. David Russell asking, oh, he's rolling through. He's in the 2-hole there. Dr. One, the professional. Love it. Will there be a Badge Bros tournament on Underdog? Yes, there will. Going to run it back with the same format as last year there. People loved playing the shorter style there, and there will be a weekly tournament as well in the same structure. Nez, Mexican or Chinese food forever?
That's a great question. That's a very good question. Although I think it's an easy answer. The chalk answer, I think, is Mexican food because they got huevos, rancheros. There's your breakfast. It's generally healthier. Yeah, Mexican food all day for sure.
All right.
But that's a great question. I think I would encourage the chat to throw more wacky this or that questions at us. That got my juices flowing.
What do you think about Brashard Smith stacking up a little bit of that Kansas City bet?
Yeah, definitely. Like all these guys, I think are like we're asking the same thing from all of them. Like your starting running back needs to get hurt for us to use you. Yeah. But Brashard Smith, I think there's a sliver of hope that he comes out and is the guy. Just because he from my eye test, man, he's fast as shit. Like he's really fast. So that's not necessarily Kareem Hunt's calling card. Pacheco is, no, I wouldn't consider him straight line fast. Brashard Smith, that's like he's got that. He's got straight line speed for sure. Mm-hmm.
I think I got the pick for us, dude. I think I got the pick for us.
No, I feel like you're gonna throw something at me that I'm nervous. Let me just say that.
You said you like week 17, right? You like week 17 in the puppies contest?
Yeah, I did say that. I'll stand by that.
Okay. Thoughts on the Skies being MF and Gray as the best tight end handcuff plus correlated piece?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's either him or Taj Brooks. Which would you prefer? Or your boy Kyle Manungai?
Let's do Noah Gray. I'm in on that.
Okay. I think if you could paint a ceiling outcome for like one potential pass catcher on that team based on injuries in front of him, that like Noah Gray would be that dude, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that genre of pick in week 18 or in round 18. Like that's
definitely in week 18 too. That's the only time he's going to score fantasy points.
You're fucking right.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Beautiful.
Very quick with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you extended the pendulum from Chinese to all Asian food encompassing, because I love Thai food, I love Malaysian food, I love sushi. Like I eat sushi 4 times a week, 3 times a week, like something like that. Like I would go Asian over Mexican. But if you're just pitting Chinese food versus Mexican food and you're doing it in like the westernized like chain restaurant version that he's kind of articulating this in, I think it's like Mexican by a landslide.
Yeah, like I haven't had like really, really good Chinese food. You know, like it's just like you said, like the Chinese food that's just like the Americanized, bastardized version is what I know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like me growing up here with like a large Asian demographic, like I'm exposed to it like all in like a lot of authentic ways. Like have you ever had like good dim sum and stuff like that?
No, actually.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's like Chinese brunch is basically what it is. And it's a lot of dumplings and like stuff like this. It's good. It's definitely worth trying, but like I would never take that over like a Mexican style breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Breakfast taco. I mean, you can just. It's yeah. Mexican food's a cheat code.
Yeah. He's afraid, John. Yeah, he was very afraid that I was going to scroll very far for that last one. Okay, Adam's got one last fun question. We talked about this one in the Discord. That's what he's referencing. 5 liquids to dispense from your fingers. Throw inhibition to the wind here, Nez. What are you dispensing out of these things?
I answered this the other while ago.
Okay.
For easy, and I think I said like coffee, Coke Zero,
Yep,
beer, water. I didn't do gas. I didn't do gas. Everyone say gas. Yeah. You know, like no, like say like plutonium or something. If you're gonna go this route, like something you could
pure
sell.
Unleaded 88, brother.
these gas maxis. That's the lamest. That's the lamest fucking answer ever.
Whole milk, all 5 fingers. Unpasteurized whole milk. Yeah, I think I'd get more specific with it. Like Cool Blue Gatorade is like my 101 of like Gatorade drinks. I don't really drink like pop soda, like whatever. Like I basically only ever drank it as like mixer kind of stuff. So I'd be kind of out on that. I love the taste of the old Super Pump and like the old pre-workout like electrolytes and like stuff like that. I would be dispensing some Tropic Fruit Punch electrolytes out of one of my fingers forever. I love the taste of that stuff. Oh man, Glacier Freeze over Cool Blue, no chance. I do Corona out of one of them. Corona or Pacifico or Sapporo or Old Milwaukee. One of those 4 beers. Maybe I'll just put those 4 beers and then I'll put the Cool Blue Gatorade on the thumb. There you go. Put these 4 and then rehydrate with that. Wing sauce. What
my 5th was. Wing sauce? Ooh. Yeah, my 5th one. Ooh. Chick-fil-A sauce or Cane's sauce.
Ooh, like a garnish style sauce, like a dipper. Nez, you order chicken strips at some hole in the wall diner, and they go, we got every sauce under the sun, but it's like, it's not like brand specific is what I'm getting at. What sauce are you asking for to go with your chicken strips?
Well, I mean, if I could have a sauce, cane sauce is like the 101.
I've never had cane sauce before. Describe it to me.
It's like tangy.
Oh, okay.
Like mustard based, a lot of pepper, but it's like tangy. Oh, it's so good.
Okay, I gotta try that.
I want Cane's just thinking about it.
Yeah,
you gotta get you down in the South. Come back. You gotta get back to Dallas and then hit up a Cane's.
Well, we almost made it to the South there. Conversation that you and I had about last week there, but fell through. So maybe in the future here, I'd love to go to like Daga or Daytona or something like that. Like that'd be my calling card. All right, Nez, we got the Solver review up here for our first Puppy 2, when Puppy 2, now Puppy 2. Give it a couple zooms in here. We made a large draft capital position on both Arizona, the Rams, and the Chiefs. Crazy to evergreen reminder that the value of capital that you spend in those first couple rounds like really pops when you look at these kind of charts, because Baltimore, we only had one pick from Baltimore, I believe, and it was Derrick Henry, and it represents 14% of our total capital there. A weird first half build for us because we took two quarterbacks in the first half, not something we normally do, but a 2-1-5-1 that led to a 2-6-7-3. Nez was really pushing for that 2-7-7-2, and I couldn't give an inch. I could not give an inch on that one there. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, and tight end, very balanced in terms of the capital buckets. We got to the kind of like the middle line of all four of them. So shout out to us there. This was a Mahomes, Kyler, Henry, Charbonnet, Ramondre, Benson, Algier, Brashard Smith. I believe my first Brashard Smith share there, despite Davis's best efforts to coerce me. Puka, Worthy, Ridley, Addison, Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride on the big third round fall, Cade Otton, and the skies are MFing Noah Gray for our guy Clay. Some nice week 17, a ton of week 16, and I guess a little bit of 15 there if you call Algier and Cade Otton a little something. Nez, does this team suck or does it fuck?
No, this team fucks for sure. It's a good team.
This team's pretty good, man. This team, yeah, did Clay rolls through. Yeah, sexy team because of the last pick.
Let things go. Let the things that need to go right for this team go right, and like no one's trying to see us.
Yeah, that's very well put there, dude. I will go circle back on the question though. That little tier where we kind of didn't really have any wide receiver available. Maybe it's easier to do when I pull up the draft board here, and we made the correlated Trey Benson bet, which just makes sense. But this kind of 3-round grouping where we're so accustomed to taking tight end and quarterback in this kind of like 10, 11, 12-ish range, when they all run early and we were playing catch up at running back, is this a way you like to do it? Or would you have preferred to have the more, ceiling shot in parentheses guys at the back end, like the great unknowns, opposed to what we did in the middle with like, in particular, Ramondre and Algier, because Benson has that upside quality, I think.
So, like, what's like the 1v1 or 3v3 here?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. It would probably be a second tight end of higher capital there, so we stop at 2. So it would have been like we passed on Dalton Kincaid, for instance. We passed on Dallas Goedert. We could have just done 2 and shut it down there. Yeah, maybe like a Quentin Johnston instead of Romeo Dobbs or Michael Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like all these running backs are like appropriately priced because there is like some slight chance of standalone value for most of those guys, and I think we also believe in the talent of where they are. And like we had such. Like quarterback was locked up. We had our wide receivers. Like who else were we going to take other than a running back? Now, if the proposal is we scroll down and take a bunch of scroll down running backs, like I guess I just don't know like what I just I don't know that I feel comfortable doing that. But I suppose that's like a fair rebuttal. Is like why don't we just like take different running backs there instead? Because like. Tight end feels like really flat where we were picking. I don't see a whole lot of like value in there necessarily. Like sure, like maybe Hunt. Like I like Hunter Henry. Yeah, okay, maybe take Hunter Henry there instead. But like wide receiver is like awfully flat. Maybe you take Besh now that Besh has fallen. Okay, sure. But like generally though, you're in like you're in flatland at that point, right? Like there's not a whole lot of discernment between anybody where you're picking. So we're just kind of going with ADP, like trying to play the probabilities game at that point. But we needed running back. Like there was no doubt we were taking running back. It's just like, what's the difference? I suppose there isn't. Suppose there isn't.
Yeah, no, good shout, dude. Yeah. I guess it's just whether we like the players or not. And I do think because the market has suggested we like these players more, we take these players here. I do think this is a good point in the chat that like Algier does have that same ceiling case upside, but it is contingent base. And then we need Ramondre early in the year to carry our RB2 opposed to another ceiling shot, because Sharps was kind of, a contingent play as well, even though we took him a little bit higher. So yeah, it's a good team, man. Good team.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah, it's still good.
Give me 1 second here, Nez. I wanted to show everybody one last thing before we go here. 3 more for the Eliminator. Guys, get in there. If you guys did not check out Pete's Eliminator show, go check that one out. I just wanted to show everyone. What's BBM DB's handle? Diablo, something like that, right? On the X machine.
Oh, it's like Diablo _II, I believe.
Diablo _II. There we go. All right. I just wanted to show everybody this chart. I tongue in cheek retweeted and commented, we're so fucking early on the BBM stuff, because classic this time of year, guys, we get the same conversations that we had in BBM 1 versus BBM 6. We're still having these same debates as people come late to the circle and they're talking about, oh, it's pointless to draft BBM now because of the combos available. Like, no, like this is just the same thing as us drafting a battle royale in an isolated week. That if you hit the nuts earlier, it's going to age greater than late, but you're working with newfound information on the back end here. And this was BBM 5, where we had no crazy variance in camp. We had no outlier injuries like the J.K. Dobbins that led to the Gus Edwards flippening of BBM, 3 or 4, something like that. We can't just look at it through the lens of one isolated year and be like, teams drafted early last year performed better than like teams that drafted late there. The best player in the world for results base, in my estimation, over the last 7-8 years, and has been doing this the longest, is Justin Herzig. And he saves all his BBM bullets for the end when there's more known information, where he does not give up dead roster spots, because he says making the finals is basically the 101 of thing that matters, and taking zeros is the number one way to not get to the finals. And the less zeros you have will be with more known information later in the calendar. So I just wanted to bring this up, that like I thought this was a useful resource, but it's only a 1 year sample. But just to illustrate that in this week of the summer in particular, maybe draft some of your puppies instead, because this is week 12 of the summer right now. And it does show we have the least amount of information right now. And we're in this hybrid no man's land. Maybe our BBM entries are best served in puppy 2s right now, Nez.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting big time. So like, I don't think it's like giga optimal to wait, but like I'm choosing to wait.
Yeah.
I've only done 12 so far, I think.
Cool. Low-key hilarious that week 12 must have been when the Scroll the F Down video of Pete's dropped last year. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good there, where everybody went crazy time scrolling in that one. Anyways, just wanted to share that because someone was talking about something related to it in the chat. So share that one with everybody from Patrick's Twitter there. There's our final team there, Nez. Solid team from us. Shout out to the Solver for the great draft assistant there. We will be recording a Solver series video for the future here for you guys. Best of luck in the MLB streets. Tons of pick'ems going on there. Scroll back up in the chat. I think we made like 4 or 5 home run pick'ems today, because it does look like a really good hitting slate there.
Yeah, this is loaded, to say the least.
Reminder to everybody, Nez will be 1 hour early tomorrow for the members. Only if you're not a member, please jump on over to the YouTube side. Consider signing up there. You get early access to the Solver series. You get multiple shows a week. Most recently, they have been baseball, but tomorrow Nez is going to do baseball and football. So full show for the members tomorrow there. If you did not check out the Coach Speak Index show, it's a link down below here. Nez and I were on for almost 3 hours there yesterday as well. Any final words for the people, Nez?
No, I will see you in the lobby, see you in these puppies as I can get in there because I am constantly drafting slow drafts. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow behind the paywall.
Absolutely. All right, guys, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell on your way out the door. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.